Right, so if we want to do a certain task multiple times, it can help to create a function. And basically a function just does that same task without having to write all of those lines of code over and over again. All right, so let's look at an example. We can look in this Jupyter Notebook and see if we can make a very simple function. So the way we start writing a function is by writing def. Right, so that's to define a function, and let's call this function square. So we're just going to create a function that takes a number and then squares it, and then gives us the output. All right, so I'm going to put in an x. This is just kind of an input that it takes. So I do def, and then I put in the name of the function, and then in parentheses I can put in any number of arguments that it can take. Here we're only doing one. If, for example, I wanted 2, I could put like x comma y, and then you would have to give it 2 inputs in order to get the function to work. Right? So, but we're only going to do one argument here, and then I'm going to put a colon. All right. So now this signifies that this is a function. I'm going to press enter, and then notice that it does the auto tab for you. And so this is a nice feature of Jupyter Notebooks, but basically when you're creating a function, you need that tabbed space in order to signify that it is part of this function. All right, so now what do? We want to square this number. So let's create a variable y, set it to equal to x, and then these two stars, these two asterisks, that just means to the power of, and then 2. All right, so this is the act of squaring it. And then if I press enter again, it's still tabbed because you want this to be part of the function. And then do return y. All right, so now that's our complete function. And we can actually, go down here and let's try using square and then put in 4. Okay, so let's see what happens if I do this. There you go. We get 16. Notice that this bottom part, square 4, that's not part of this function because it's not indented.